once more to the Minister to look on it favourably, and I commend it to the House. Thank you, Mr
Chairman. I call the honourable member Kevin Hay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I also want to speak on the SOP that stands in the name of Marion Street, because it's one of three different approaches that are being countenanced in the SOPs to this bill overall to deal with the matter of price. And as she says, it deals with that in two ways. It provides that deterrent effect associated with, I guess, the standard understanding of price in microeconomics, that an increased price will reduce consumption, and that's a good thing. And also, as she notes, the levy that she proposes would provide a dedicated fund for health services. And Mr. Chair, that's an important thing, because what we know, and it would be interesting if the Minister of Health, Tony Ryle, takes a call on this part. What we know is that our alcohol and drug treatment services are incredibly important and under incredible stress. That there is already much greater need and indeed demand for those treatment services than can possibly be serviced with the services that we fund at present. And I'm sure that government members like I have been will have been visited by treatment service providers advocating for a very substantial increase in the capacity of those treatment services. And indeed, the levy that Marion Street proposes would be one method of providing a revenue source to enable government that, of course, is cash-strapped to be able to do that. I want to focus a little now on the other aspect of the levy that Marion Street proposes, and that is the deterrent effect, and come to those three mechanisms that have been proposed and perhaps weigh up some of the advantages and disadvantages of the three. Because certainly the Law Commission in its report canvasses minimum pricing, and we've heard some discussion about that. It recommends a 50% increase in excise tax on alcohol, and on a later part of this bill there is an SOP that stands in my name to implement the Law Commission's recommendation. And then there is this third option that Marion Street has introduced to the debate. And so when we look at those three options, I guess we look at which of those is going to have the biggest effect. And it may be that some combination of them is appropriate. Mr. Chair, we use price in relation to tobacco control as a means of suppressing demand. And I think it would be fair to say that I think every member of this House recently voted for increases to the excise tax on tobacco on that basis, to reduce consumption of tobacco products. And in that context, it's recognised that increasing the price of tobacco is the most effective means of reducing consumption of tobacco products. And when it comes to alcohol, there is no reason to deal with alcoholic beverages in any different way to the way that we deal with tobacco. That actually we know that increasing the price of alcohol, and as I say, Mr. Chair, there are these three ways proposed for doing that, but whichever way we choose, increasing the price is going to be the most effective way of reducing consumption and thereby reducing the harm associated with alcohol, which, after all, Mr. Chair, is the object of this bill. So it's perverse, in fact, that the government embraces and indeed sort of celebrates that price increase mechanism. Mr. Chair.
I call the Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr. Chairman, I want to speak